beliefs irrational, but they do point to that likelihood.
My transformation was gradual. God was convicting me of my idols, which were many. The most obvious was drugs, but within a few months, he delivered me from that addiction.
It's a bit odd to me that he attributes his recovery from drug addiction to God's deliverance, because the physical aspect of drug addiction just goes away naturally if you don't use the drug for long enough. God's intervention isn't really required, that's just how our bodies work. Yuan was in prison and unable to access drugs, so his withdrawal symptoms and addiction going away were just a natural consequence. It's clear that where anyone else sees mundane natural processes, Yuan sometimes sees miracles.
God kept bringing to mind other idols, and there was just this one thing that I felt like I just couldn't let go of: my sexuality. So I went to a chaplain and I asked him his opinion. And to my surprise, he told me he believed the Bible does not condemn same-sex relations. He even gave me a book explaining that view. So, with much curiosity, I took that book in the hopes of finding biblical justification for same-sex relationships. I had that book in one hand and the Bible in the other. From a human perspective, I had every reason in the world to accept what that book is claiming, to justify the way I had been living. But God's indwelling Holy Spirit convicted me that those assertions were a clear distortion of God and His Word. I couldn't even finish that book, and I gave it back to the chaplain, which meant I turned to the Bible alone.
In most circumstances, like, say, in school, if a person reported on a book saying, "I don't like the book and disagree with it, so I didn't finish it," one would be right to respond, "How did you come to understand it enough to disagree with it so thoroughly if you didn't read it all?" Then, if the person reasoned, "I felt a spirit or God tell me it was wrong," one would be right to respond, "Can you demonstrate that what you felt was God and not just your own emotions?" Of course, no student would get away with not doing a homework assignment using this excuse. I don't think Yuan's story should be treated any differently. A statement of essentially, "I made up my mind before I actually understood other perspectives on the issue," is another red flag that one's position is not held rationally. Also, believers of other religions could just as easily say that their deity told them that a completely different set of beliefs is true, so this claim doesn't give Yuan's ideas any credibility. Implying it does is just special pleading, a common logical fallacy.
I was at a turning point.